Good day everyone and welcome to Trending Update USA. I'm your anchor, Steffan, and today we're following one of the most talked about stories in women's tennis. It involves Coco Gauff, Emma Raducanu, the Billie Jean King Cup, and the fascinating developments that have set up a blockbuster clash between their teams, even though the two young stars themselves will not be playing. The Billie Jean King Cup, often referred to as the World Cup of Women's Tennis, is one of the most prestigious events in the sport. National teams compete for pride and glory, representing their countries in a format that is as much about teamwork as it is about individual brilliance. But the latest headlines have not only been about the on-court results, but also about the big names missing in action. American star Coco Gauff, fresh from her successes on the WTA Tour and already considered one of the biggest faces of tennis at just 20 years old, has opted not to play in the Billie Jean King Cup this year. The decision sparked plenty of debate among fans and pundits. Some have speculated that her packed schedule, which included a deep run at the US Open in preparation for the WTA Finals, played a role in her absence. Others suggest she may be focusing on her long-term career strategy, managing her workload to avoid burnout or injuries. On the other side of the Atlantic, Emma Raducanu, the 2021 US Open champion, also decided not to feature for Team Great Britain in this edition of the Billie Jean King Cup. Raducanu has had a roller coaster of a career since her stunning triumph in New York, facing injuries and inconsistency while trying to rebuild her form. Her absence from the squad was not entirely unexpected, but it still raised eyebrows, especially since she has spoken in the past about her pride in representing her country. For Raducanu, the decision seems tied to her ongoing recovery and careful management of her body, as she aims to rediscover the level that made her a Grand Slam champion. So, what happened when two of the sport's brightest young stars were absent from their teams? Well, the answer might surprise you. Both the United States and Great Britain managed to advance in their respective ties, setting up what promises to be an electrifying showdown between the two nations. Team USA, despite not having Coco Gauff in the lineup, showed its incredible depth. Led by players like Jessica Pegula, Madison and Danielle, the American squad powered through their tie with resilience and confidence. Pegula, currently ranked inside the world's top 10, has been a consistent force on the tour and brought her trademark steadiness to the Billie Jean King Cup. Keys added her experience and big match mentality, while Collins injected her fiery competitiveness, ensuring the US team didn't miss a beat in Gauff's absence. Great Britain, meanwhile, proved that they, too, are more than just Emma Raducanu. The team leaned on experienced players like Boulter and Harriet, who have been climbing the rankings steadily and gaining valuable tour-level experience. Both players delivered gritty performances under pressure, pushing their team into the next round. Their victory was a reminder of the depth in British women's tennis, a depth that is often overshadowed by the massive media spotlight that shines on Raducanu. With both the US and Great Britain advancing, the stage is now set for a fascinating clash between the two nations. Even without Gauff and Raducanu on court, the matchup carries plenty of intrigue. For one, the rivalry between the US and Great Britain in tennis has historical significance. From past Wimbledon encounters to Davis Cup and Billie Jean King Cup clashes, these two nations share a competitive spirit that always makes for exciting tennis. For the US, the absence of Gauff may actually prove to be a motivating factor. Teams often rally when their stars are missing, and the American players have shown they can shoulder the responsibility together. Pegula's leadership, combined with Key's shot-making and Collins' intensity, makes Team USA a formidable opponent. Add to that their double strength, and the US looks like a well-rounded squad ready to fight for glory. Great Britain, on the other hand, heads into the clash with nothing to lose. Without Raducanu, expectations may not be sky-high, but that could work in their favor. Boulter, in particular, has grown into a reliable leader for the team, and with Dart providing strong support, the British team has the tools to cause an upset. Playing with the underdog mentality, they could bring extra fire to the contest against the heavily favored Americans. Of course, the narrative surrounding this tie is bigger than just the tennis. For Coco Gauff and Emma Raducanu, their absence is fueling conversations about the demands placed on young players in today's game. Both have faced immense pressure since their teenage breakthroughs. Gauff, hailed as the next superstar after her stunning run at Wimbledon in 2019, has shouldered massive expectations both on and off the court. Raducanu, meanwhile, was thrust into global stardom almost overnight after her US Open victory, a rare and historic achievement that created both opportunities and challenges for her career. Fans often expect these young players to compete in every major event, but the reality is that the tennis calendar is grueling. Managing workload, avoiding injuries, and focusing on long-term success are crucial for sustaining a career at the top level. That's why decisions like skipping the Billie Jean King Cup, while disappointing for fans, might be necessary for the player's well-being. Still, it does highlight a tension within the sport, the balance between national representation and individual priorities. Events like the Billie Jean King Cup rely heavily on star power to attract attention, and when top names are absent, the tournament risks losing some of its shine. Yet, the performances of the so-called supporting cast from both the US and Great Britain show that women's tennis is brimming with talent beyond the superstars. As the US and Great Britain prepare to face each other, all eyes will be on the matchups. Can the British team ride their momentum and score a famous win, or will Team USA's depth and experience prove too much? Whatever the outcome, the tie is bound to deliver drama, passion, and quality tennis. And who knows? Maybe the absence of Gauff and Raducanu will open the door for new heroes to emerge on this international stage. In conclusion, while Coco Gauff and Emma Raducanu's decisions to skip the Billie Jean King Cup may have been headline-grabbing, their teams have shown resilience and strength, advancing to set up a clash that tennis fans won't want to miss. The beauty of team competitions is that they are bigger than any one player, and the upcoming showdown between the US and Great Britain is proof of just that. That wraps up today's coverage here on Trending Update USA. I'm Steffan, and we'll continue to bring you the latest updates on the Billie Jean King Cup and all the top stories from the world of sports. Stay tuned, stay informed, and as always, thanks for watching.